Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Before we continue on, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment on my videos, as well as hit that notification bell so you'll be updated about any new and upcoming videos that are occurring on my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about something very special. I have launched a coalition. The full name of it is what's called Hans Coalition of English Teachers, and this is how it works. You come to me and you tell me that you need a job. I can help you with that because I will help look for jobs for you. Now, if you don't need this service, that's okay. You can still apply. The thing is that after you get the job through me, like if you need a job through me and I get one for you, and you get hired on and you get papers and everything like that says you've been hired on, like you show me your employment contract and such, that's when you start paying fees. Now, the fees are simple. It's $100 USD flat. That means it doesn't matter if you're native, non-native speaker, young, old, whatever, you'll still be required to pay the exact same fee. Now, here's how it works. When I go ahead and receive that fee, 35% right off the top goes for taxes. 65% that's remaining gets split in half. Half goes to me, half goes to the labor fund. Now, here's the thing. When we are first starting out, as we're doing right now, we need to have a lot of teachers to pay into the pool. Because once the pool is strong enough, then we can go from defensive to offensive, like when we reach critical mass. The same thing is what happens when a critical mass of people have been inoculated against a dangerous disease. Then the disease can't thrive anymore. You see what I mean? That's how smallpox, it was eradicated in the United States right up until people decided they didn't want to take the vaccines anymore. Now the virus is back. So, yeah, you will go ahead and hear a dog barking a lot because my neighbors don't know how to keep their dogs properly. So, yes, you will be hearing that a lot. So, moving on. So, I keep half of the 65% that's remaining. The other half goes into the labor fund. Now, here's the thing. If you lose your job and it's not your fault, then you get to stay in the group for free while I find you another one. If you don't want my help, you can still find another job on your own. But the thing is the fact that you must get a new job within 30 days. Or if I get you a job within 30 days. Now, if you want me to get you a job and I can't find you one in 30 days, then that means you may get a little bit extra time until I go and get one for you. But if you want to look for a job on your own, you must get a new job within 30 days in order to stay in the group under that premise. Now, if you still want to stay in the group, but you don't get a job, or what your job is not teaching English, and or you support us, you can still pay a fee. So that's how it works. Now, here's the thing. The other thing I'm going to say is this. Any teacher under my care will get the best care possible. Because not only will I go ahead and make sure that you get a job and that you're gainfully employed, but I'm also going to make sure that your employer follows all the laws. And I mean all the laws. Because the fact that a lot of employers, a lot of English centers here in Vietnam don't know how to treat their teachers right. They don't know the laws. They think they can get away with just about anything they want. Just like some centers who have rolling blackouts, like I mentioned in the one video, rolling blackouts, they don't want to hook up power generators, their English centers are a mess, and they have, they break a lot of fire safety codes and things like that. So, yeah, we need to go ahead and legally excise centers just like that. And like I said, once I reach critical mass, I can go from defensive to offensive. And offensive is very simple. Once I reach critical mass, then we can start directing teachers to the good centers and keeping them away from the bad ones. And once the blacklist and green list are both generated, we can go ahead and tell teachers exactly, yes, you should work for this center because they're good people, or don't work for that center, they're not very good people. Now, see, I am trying to keep this as clean as possible so I can keep this on my regular channel and also broadcast to Facebook as well. Now, see, here's the thing. I am not a lawyer. I am not certified to practice law in Vietnam. I'm just some guy from the United States that knows about the labor code. That's it. So when I say I offer legal help, that is not through me. That is through an actual labor lawyer that I will contract to help the coalition. Now, see, here's the thing. Some people are like, well, isn't that a union? Well, it is and it isn't. It is and it isn't. Now, you will go ahead and experience glitches from time to time. I don't know why, but you will be experiencing glitches from time to time during the making of this video. Nothing I can do about that, so please don't ask me a lot of questions about it, all right? Because I can't do much. So, the other thing people are asking me is, why is your service so necessary? Well, I can tell you why it's necessary. Because like I said, there's a lot of centers, like 9 out of 10 centers, that like to break the law. 9 out of 10 centers who like to make their teachers work 160 hours a month and only give them 40 million dong. Yeah, there's one center I know of like that, and it's in Hanoi, and it's called Sakura Montessori Kindergarten. Yeah, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and they only get about 40 million dong a month. No, we are not going to be overworked. And I will make sure that you will not be overworked either. You will get the appropriate amount of hours. Now, see, some people can work more than 20 to 25 hours, and if you do that, more power to you. But I'll make sure that you get at least 20 hours a week, so about 80 hours a month. Now, see, here's the thing. What teachers are being hired for now is not summer classes, it's for classes for next school year, which starts in about August or September. Now, again, people may be like, well, I don't need your help, blah, blah, blah. Well, good for you. If you know as much as I do or more than I do, and you actually have a lot of money, then by all means, do your own thing. Okay? But for the English teachers that are down and out, for the English teachers that are tired of being disrespected, for the English teachers that need a change in their lives, those are the teachers I want. Now, see, I only want teachers in my group that are legitimate. This means do not apply to my group if you have missing or no paperwork, bad or forged paperwork, or if you overstayed your visa. Do not apply with me, because if you do and I find any one of these 3 things out, I will report you to the Ministry of Labor, because you're probably working on a bad visa anyways, Ministry of Public Security, because technically it's also a criminal matter, especially if you overstayed your visa, and also the Ministry of Immigration and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because again, if you overstayed your visa, that's an immigration problem. Yep. See, I only want legitimate teachers in Vietnam. I only want legitimate centers in Vietnam. That's what I want. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, illegal English centers are starting to fight back against me by tricking the Facebook algorithm to go ahead and remove my links as spam, even though they're not spam. And that's the reason why a lot of English teachers, especially non-native speakers from certain countries that really, really don't like me, because I will not employ them, because said people normally go ahead and have a bad demeanor, and they go ahead and use forged or missing paperwork as an excuse to get a job. So yeah, I do not hire backpackers. I do not hire tourists. I do not hire anyone for my group that, like I said, is either a backpacker, a tourist, or if you're illegal in any way. All right? Now, see, when I say I hire, that means you pay me, you get to join my group. And as long as you have good morals and good standing, then you get to be in my group. Now, if you want to cause problems, you will be kicked out of my group. Okay? And one of the problems I mentioned specifically is religion. Now, see, my group will be very diverse, with people from many religions all over the world. And all of these people, regardless of religion, must work together. Not separately, not against each other, must work together. Therefore, there will be no proselytizing in my group either. If you try to preach a religion and I find out about it, you will be warned. Now, see, my punishment section is very simple. You get 3 warnings in my group. All right. First warning, I tell you to knock it off. Second warning, I send you a notice that says you really need to knock it off. Third notice says mess up one more time and you're done. And if you mess up again, you're gone. That's it. Okay. I don't go ahead and offer 4th, 5th, 8th, 20th chances. No, you get 3 shots and that's it. Now, anything you pay into the group is not refundable at all in any way, shape, or form. It's not refundable. So please do not bother trying to say, oh, well, I want my money back. I want my money back. No, you're not getting your money back. All right. This is insurance against corrupted centers. This is not a savings account. You cannot go ahead and pull your money out whenever you want. That's not how it works. Once you pay in, and that's it. Now, people are like, well, what are the benefits of this? If it's like this, what are the benefits? Well, here's the benefits. Again, you get job placement assistance if you want it. The other benefit is legal. Now, like I said, it's not me. It's an actual labor lawyer. Now, at your discretion or mine, depending on the severity of the case, I'm actually willing to go down to your center or place of business where you're currently working at and have a very polite conversation with your employer about why they need to follow the law. Now, if they at that point think that, oh, well, he's just a foreigner, he can't do anything, blah, 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 that's where you're wrong. Because if the employer still does not want to comply with the rules, say they try to go ahead and give you an illegal fine. Yeah, company fines are illegal under Article 127, Clause 2 of the Labor Code, as it specifically states that fines are illegal as a form of punishment in the workplace. Essentially, that's what it says. I think it said monetary fines are illegal as a form of punishment in the workplace. I don't remember the exact wording, but it's 127 Clause 2. All right. So if an employer tries to give you a fine, you can say no. And if they still insist that you pay it, you talk to me and I go down to the center and talk to them in person. And if they still don't want to comply, then I go ahead and call up a lawyer and say, hey, this center is trying to make this guy pay something that's not right. Can you go ahead and help us out? Well, what the lawyer is going to do is that he's going to go ahead and also contact the center for a fee, of course, and remind them to knock it out. Now, if they don't want to knock it off, then I meant to say knock it off earlier. If they don't want to knock it off, then it escalates to an actual lawsuit. Because the first step, he goes ahead and sends a letter reminding people that they need to obey the laws. Okay, if the center still doesn't want to comply, then he goes ahead and helps file a labor case going through the labor education system. Mediation and education system. Now, if it still doesn't work after that, then he goes to court. That's the reason why this is so important. Is because of the fact a lot of centers will not listen to me. They won't listen to a strongly worded letter. They may listen to the labor board, the Department of Labor. They may listen to the labor board, maybe not. But even after all those three options and they still don't go ahead and want to comply, then they get taken to court. When they get taken to court, that means that we already know we're going to win and we're going to go ahead and press the advantage until we get some money. Now, see, here's the thing. Anything that the client receives as a result of the lawsuit is 100% theirs. If they choose to donate more to the cause after they get their settlement, that's their choice. But I will not ever make anyone share their settlements with the group. Your settlement is yours, not ours. I only take my small fee from every person every month, and that's it. That's all I do. I'm not going to take your settlements. That's all yours. Now, like I said, if you want to donate more to the group, you can. I don't mind. Now, for any supporters out there that might be interested in this, maybe you're not an English teacher, maybe you don't want to join up, but maybe you still want to donate to the cause, that's cool too. Again, send me an email, and I'll go ahead and let you know how. Because of the fact that some people may want to stay anonymous. That's okay. I don't mind. People want to stay anonymous and they want to donate. That's cool too. Now, people are wondering, how legal is my group? Well, it's actually 100% legal, and I'll tell you why. See, foreigners here in Vietnam, from what my understanding is, cannot have a union because that is under the purview of the government. Now, my coalition is a lot different because of the fact that it cuts through a lot of red tape. What we are a group of like-minded teachers who wish to go ahead and raise the standards, the quality of education for everyone. We are united under a single purpose. And because we have this united single purpose, we must be a group together. And because of the fact that I know more about the labor code than anybody else in my group, minus the people that have studied it just as I have, then that means I am qualified to lead, since it's my idea. Now, see, here's the thing. I will always be the leader of this group. There will be no elections. There will be nothing else. I am always the leader of this group. Now, I will, at my discretion, choose a second in command. That means someone who will assist me. Now, this person could be local. This person could be a foreigner. Who knows? But I will go ahead and choose a second in command to go ahead and assist me because I don't want to go to an English center by myself. I'd rather have someone with me when I do. And regardless of age, nationality, gender, whatever, this person must be both strong physically and strong mentally to go ahead and handle an English center because it is a completely different beast. Yes, English centers that don't want to comply with the laws are a completely different beast. Now, we're about 15 minutes into this advertisement, so I'm going to go ahead and continue on. So, anybody that wants to join this group, first off, you have to go to the free chat room, the free lobby page. The free lobby page is the one that I keep advertising in literally all of my videos. It's the Zalo group with the link that I show you. Once you get into the free group, then you make contact with me there. Now, I have my Vietnamese equivalent name on there, An Han Yon Le, and my avatar is that of Darth Yoda. So, you go ahead and see that, then you know that that's me. Now, what you do in there is simple. You go ahead and say, hi, I'm interested in joining your group. Okay, cool. Send your documents to this email address, tuxedoshadow@gmail.com. Again, it's the same address that you use if you want to donate, same address you want to use if you want to talk to me on Google Chat. Same thing. You go ahead and send me all of your documents. Then after you're done sending your documents, I review them, and if I determine they're authentic, then I schedule an interview with you to make sure that your English is up to snuff, especially if you're a non-native speaker. See, I have to go ahead and prevent people from using forged paperwork. And I've seen a lot of advertisements online that talk about the C1, C2 certificate and 120-hour TESOL certificate from the World TESOL Institute for 100 USD. Yeah. And I don't want any forged documents or anything like that in my group. Because when I go to an employer and say, hey, I have teachers that need a job, I must tell them with absolute certainty that all the paperwork is authentic. Yes, their English is up to snuff because I heard it personally, and I do recommend these teachers for employment. Now, here's the thing. Regardless of nationality, regardless if you're a native or non-native speaker, with me, I will make sure that you get minimum $450,000 an hour. Because no teacher should live on less than that, especially those that live in foreigner enclaves or foreigner-heavy areas like Americatown, Tao Dien Ward District 2 here in Ho Chi Minh City. It is not cheap to live there, especially when everything is at least 5 to 10 times higher than what it is here in the outlying districts like in District 12. Yeah, everything is a lot more expensive in the foreigner-heavy areas. That's the reason why, it is what it is. So you need a higher wage to live in a foreigner enclave. Now, for those who don't want the insurance, who don't want to join my group, that's fine. You don't want to join my group, that's completely your choice. Now, if you want to go ahead and talk smack about my group, that's also your choice. But myself, those that know me, and those who are in my group or are thinking about joining my group, they know differently. Because they know that I am following Uncle Ho's dream of a strong, prosperous, and unified Vietnam through proper education of his citizen students. Yes, I am doing what's right. And I am making sure that those under me do what's right. Also, I am making sure the English centers do what's right. And those centers that don't want to do what's right get added to the blacklist, and then the blacklist grows very, 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 very quickly. So once the green list and black list are both published, we will go ahead and let people know exactly which centers they need to avoid. This will go ahead and remove the good teachers from the illegal English centers and place them in better positions. So eventually, like I mentioned one day in one of my previous videos, that if once the teachers leave, then all centers left with are staff. Staff can't teach the classes because they're not properly qualified. So if the staff leave because they move on to better jobs, then the English center is stuck with all the kids with no teacher to teach the classes. And if that happens for too long, it's going to turn into APACs. Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to turn into APACs. So, yeah. Now, see, with me, I also mentioned in a text message in the free group that for those that have religious needs, let's go ahead and say for those who are Muslim, okay? Those who are Muslim must pray 5 times a day. That is a part of their religious laws. I have no problem with this. And I will make sure that your employer understands this and that they must give you times that you can pray. See, I am not Muslim myself, but I have no problem with those that are Muslim, especially because of the fact that my mother is Muslim too, as is shown in my previous video. Now, the thing is, though, is the fact that I know a little bit about Islam, not a lot, but I know enough about it to know that, like I said, people who are Muslim must pray 5 times a day. Now, sometimes that time of the day may come during your class. If that happens, you get to go pray because that is the requirement for you. Now, if your English center does not want you to do this, then that means that they are not a good center to work for. The Law on Religion and Folk Belief, 2016 edition, essentially states that a person can believe or not as they see fit, as long as it does not harm the state or state interests. Yes, a person can believe or not believe as they choose, as long as they do not harm the state or state interests. And giving someone who is Muslim time to pray is not going against that. And yes, there's actually a mosque here in Ho Chi Minh City. I think it's like District 1 or District 2, something like that. But I do know there's a mosque here. I've actually seen it. And it does comply with Vietnamese law. So there's really nothing, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, the other thing, as I mentioned earlier, is the fact that while I will try to make sure that you are accommodated religiously, I will not allow proselytizing in my group. If I find out you're preaching a religion, like I say, you get 3 shots. After the 3rd shot and you don't want to go ahead and comply, you get kicked out. Bar none, because I'm not going to tolerate it. Now, you believe what you believe, and that's fine. I believe what I believe, and that's fine too. Nothing wrong with that. Now, here's the other thing. For the naysayers, for the people who like to talk smack, for the illegal English centers, illegal English teachers, etc., 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 those kind of people, yes, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after the illegal English centers and making sure you get shut down. I'm coming after all the illegal teachers and make sure they get jailed and deported. That's my goal. So if you're not legal, you better get legal or you better leave the country. Now, I hear that Cambodia will take literally anyone regardless. They don't care. At least that's from what I hear. I could be mistaken, but that's what I hear. That's the reason why the salary is so low. And why there's certain enclaves of a lot of people there is because they got kicked out of Vietnam. So yeah. It's like I said, if you're not legal, you better get legal. If not, you better leave the country. Because once my coalition finds you, and we will find you because you'll apply with us for a job. Once we find you and we find out you're fake, like I said, you're going to be reported, you're going to go to jail, and then you're going to get kicked out of the country anyways. So, yeah. All right, so to wrap everything up, like I went ahead and mentioned earlier, my group is simple. I go ahead and help people find a job if they want it. If not, they still join the group immediately if they want to. If you already have a job, you want to join my group, then that means you pay fees immediately. You only pay fees once a month, every month, as long as you're gainfully employed. Now, the thing is, though, if you don't have a job yet, you can still join my group, but you must pay after you get hired on. And once I get you a job, I will know if you're hired on or not. Now, here's the thing. If you lose your job, like I said, through no fault of your own, you will stay in the group for free until you either get another one, which you have a 30-day time limit, or I go ahead and help you find one. Now, it could be 30 days, could be a bit longer, but I will not tolerate people being on and in my group for free for long periods of time. That's not going to work. If after 30 days, if you try to find a job, or 60 days, if I try to find you a job, if you still don't have a job by that point and you don't want to pay no more, then we have to kick you out because we're not going to have freeloaders in the group. We only want people that pay because of the fact that the legal fund, it's not cheap. It's not cheap because of the fact that if it has to go to court, that's at least 50 million dong that would have to be paid out from the legal fund to help the lawyer. All right. At least 50 million dong plus everything else he's already done to take the case to court. It's not cheap. That's the reason why there's no refunds. Once you pay in, you pay in. You cannot withdraw anything at any point in time. Because like I said, 35% gets taken for taxes, 65% gets split in half. The labor fund gets one half, I get the other half. That's it. That's all it is. That's the reason why the price is so low, 2,300,000 dong a month. Once I get enough teachers, like I said, I can go from defense to offense and start directing teachers which school to go to. But one of the things I'm going to tell here at the very end, since I was able to record this directly from my computer and not use the software, is this. This group is just the first stage of what my ultimate plan is. Once this group is thoroughly established, off and running sort of thing, I've hit critical mass, I have at least 1,000 teachers or more under my command, then I can go ahead and start the process to actually get an English center of my own. And once I have that English center constructed, or by the building already, who knows, then I will have a pool of teachers to choose from to hire for my center. So yes, for right now, we have a coalition, but eventually we will have our own English center. One where all teachers are treated with dignity and respect. One where it is a 100% English environment. 100% English environment. No TAs, nothing like that. 100% English. Classes, no more than 5 kids. This way, it's actually more personal and better for the kids themselves because they learn more. Large classrooms, kids don't learn anything. Small classrooms, kids learn a lot. That's the reason why small classrooms are so expensive. But the price for the English Center will be a price that everyone can afford. Just like I talked about in 006 under general topics. That's my idea for the English Center. That's the ultimate goal. But for right now, I'm going to start this coalition, and then after that, we'll go from there. Now, if people don't want to join my center, but they still want to be a part of the coalition as either a fan or like a paying fan or an English teacher themselves, that's fine too. Okay, still pay the fees, you're fine. Doesn't matter if you want to join my center or not. But like I said, my center, just like the coalition itself, will be very diverse. It will have people of all skin tones from all across the world that have many different religions. So yes, I will have a very diverse workforce. Not only that, but I will also employ older people as well. As long as you have a health certificate that says that you're able to work, then you will be employed by my group. Now, the maximum age from what I hear for retirement, I think it's like 55 or 60, though you may still be able to get a job. So I'm not sure what the absolute limit is on how an older person can work, but you will have a job with me guaranteed as long as you are legal and as long as you are healthy enough to work. I do not discriminate. That's what makes me so special. Now I'm going to say this. For the people who want to join my group, but they don't live in Ho Chi Minh City, say they live somewhere else in the world, or say they live in Hanoi or Da Nang or Hue or Ha Long, something like that. If they live in a different area, they're not in Ho Chi Minh City, that's fine. We want you too. Because I can still go ahead and do a Google Meet call with your center. And if it's really, really bad, I could actually, if I had enough cash saved up, because I'm not going to take it from the legal fund. The legal fund is only for the lawyers. That's it. I'm not going to take anything out of there unless it's for legal reasons. If I can and I can afford it, I'll actually travel to go to your center in person from Ho Chi Minh City to make sure that they understand that they must obey the law. Now, as far as the expenses itself, only for the portion with the legal fund in it, I will make a document available to people so that they can see exactly those that are actually in the paid group. They will actually see how much the legal fund is and how much it's growing day by day. Now remember, like I said, 100% of the fee, 100%, okay? 35% goes to taxes, all right? And then the 65% that's left over gets split in half. Half goes to me, half goes to the legal fund. The legal fund is what I'm going to talk about later on, but I'm also going to keep another separate master sheet for myself that details everything. Taxes taken out, legal fund deposit, my deposit. So this way, in case I am asked what's going on, I can show everything and be like, here's where the money is and here's where it went. This is who I got it from. This is how it got divided. This is what was deposited. This way, everything's legal. And when it comes time for me to pay taxes, I can show proof that said, yeah, I received this. Yes, I want to pay taxes on it. Here you go. This way, I am being a responsible person. Remember, I want to be a Vietnamese citizen one day. And to do that, I must follow the laws, which I have no problem doing. If you hear otherwise from other people, obviously they're not telling you the truth. So, we are already at almost 30 minutes, but remember, this is through my computer through Windows, so I don't need to worry about it. So I'm going to go ahead and say, if you like my videos, if you're thinking about joining my paid group, if you want to donate, something like that, send me an email to tuxedoshadow@gmail.com. Subject line, I want to help, or I want to donate, if you want to donate. Second subject line, I want to join your group. This way I know what to do. Or I'm a fan, or something like that. Now, remember, if you want to send me hate mail, I take hate mail too. But I might go ahead and ridicule you later on when you go ahead and send me the hate mail. So send me hate mail at your own risk, because if I actually like it, it's going to go on to my blooper reels here on Facebook and YouTube about why you shouldn't send me, hate mail if you don't want to go ahead and be made fun of later on. So yeah, have a good day. Be safe, and I'll see you again.